But yeah, just to kind of recap, I've seen the art direction of the game of Street Fighter 6. It looked really cool. I like the direction. I think it could be really good. Um, and I'm really looking forward to this. So let's check out this vid. You got this? Yeah, I mean, this is gonna. I'm really looking forward to this. This should be very cool. Maybe if I just click on this guy. No, it gave me a picture in picture. No, now it's giving me a normal picture. I kind of want to go back to tab. Can I just? Okay, okay. This is how it works. All right, all right, all right. Here we are. So let's make sure I get you nice and big. And yeah, we got 4K resolution. I don't know what the sound's gonna be like, but let's check this out. I'm really excited. This is gonna be super cool. Oh wow, look at that. Wow, look at all that. Alright, so it's just a city, right? Oh, wait a minute. Metro City? This is set in Final Fight? Okay, okay, from here on out, I'm not gonna pause. Let's just watch this. I'm really feasting on all this shit right now. You see there's Luke over there. Okay, whatever. But look, there's Hugo in the left right there. Alright, hang on. No pausing. Let's agree. No pausing. We're just gonna run through this. I'm already getting ahead of myself. I like Metro City. That means Cody's going to be in here, right? Okay, enough of this. Here we go. I'm going to watch this. Show me when my mouse works. Let me know if the volume's kind of fucked up. Looks like it might be spiking a bit for you.
When you go looking for strength, it's not like a game.
Damn. Look at that animation.
This journey doesn't have a real ending. Okay then, hope you're ready to begin. You want to start off in the right foot in this city. Hit the streets.
Yeah, hey there, I do this.
World Tour, that's an old mode from like I think the Alpha series? Well, that was Hager! Metro City. So it's like it's gonna be a Final Fight thing. Whoa, hey, this is an open world! Did he challenge this guy in open world? I saw a fight sign. Oh, it's Chun-Li. Look at Chun-Li. Ooh. Oh, wow. Chun-Li turned into Ryu. Oh, okay. Hey. Oh. Okay, I'm really digging this style. Whoa. Hey, who's this guy? What's this kung fu I'm seeing from Street Fighter? What? He drinks? Lei Wulong? The young years. Oh my gosh.
The top player is here.
Jamie, it's a new guy. Luke, Chun-Li. Chun-Li's looking nice. Ryu's looking hella nice. Oh, look, an actual gameplay. Wow. The effects are... Oh my god. Did you see her ass? Oh my goodness. Damn, he came all over the floor. Did he just parry all that? That's a lot of parries. That's a parry. That was a parry. Was that a parry? I think it might have been a super.
This is our destiny.
Oh, hey, I'm liking this. I'm liking this drunk guy. Oh my god. They redid the logo. The logo, even the logo got redone. New challenger. Kimberly? Is this it? Okay, no pausing, no pausing. It's not done yet. Your moment. Your bowel movement. 2023? Wait, that's it? Only 2023? We don't have a release date? This game has been delayed like a bunch. Wow, okay, that was... Oh my goodness gracious. I'm really happy. Really, really, really happy with the way that this looks. And okay, all right, that was the clean run through. Let's do another run through. I want to take a peek at some of this stuff. We're not going to try and do like a too big of a deep dive. I'm so certain people that are way better with this shit have already done this. I want to try and condense this here. I wanted to pause this really fast. Yeah, okay. You see, did you see that? It's really hard to catch. But it looks like he challenges this guy. And it says fight. Man, that is so fast. I can't even click in time. Here. Yeah, look. He challenges him. And now they are fighting in a 2D space. So it is a 3D world that you run around in, and you can engage in fights. But when you initiate the fight, it turns into a 2D fighter. So it turns into a fighting game. That's kind of cool. I'm not 100% sure if that's really how I would really want it to go. I would have really liked it if it was more of a brawler. You know? Like I said, it is giving big Yakuza vibes. Open world fighting, storylines for characters, just some customization for your own fighter. Yeah, it is kind of... And then it's interesting that you say Yakuza vibes, because I kind of agree with you on that. In Yakuza, the old Yakuzas, most notably, it used to have to load a little fighting arena for you guys to brawl in. It used to have to load up a fight sequence. In the newer Yakuzas, the more recent ones, they've managed to make it so that you actually flow into a fight without having to load up like a stage or anything. It actually does just initiate a fight sequence right there wherever you found the bad guys. It kind of seems like they're doing the old school Yakuza thing here, where you're challenging, if you find a bad guy or you challenge them or something, it then it then loads up a fighting arena. I'm wondering if this stage, you see this moment here in the background, I'm wondering if this is a generic stage that you'll have in the main game, like if you play the multiplayer, or if this is a dynamically generated 2D field that you just, wherever you challenge a guy, that's where it's at. See, this is the thing that really kind of bothers me. I would have liked it if it was more of a brawler. I kind of like the idea more of like turning it into, I don't know, like Final Fight Streetwise. If any of you guys played that, Final Fight Streetwise was an actual Final Fight brawler. It was a hack and slash or beat 'em up, whatever you want to call them. And you just ran around a hub like this and you could beat people up very freely, you know? Sleeping Dogs, kind of like Sleeping Dogs, you know? It would have been much nicer if they just kept the fighting game tool set for your fighter. So your fighter does things like he would in the 2D fighting game. But they kept it a brawler. So you can, like, smash people on the walls, you know, throw them over, like, that waist-high obstacle and stuff like that. In this case, it's weird in this case because being a 2D fighter, you don't interact with your environment in a 2D environment. You actually just fight one-on-one as a fighting game. And, I mean, that's what Street Fighter is. It's a fighting game, but it's only really fun to fight that way against people, not so much against AI. AI cheat. So, you gotta make it interesting and fun to engage with the AI, and making it a brawler is a good way to do it. I can't even pause it when I mean to pause it. Where's Ryu's bulge, man? It's kind of missing. Where did the bulge go? This is beautiful. I want this as a background. Right here. I want this as a wallpaper. Someone find this as a wallpaper. This is sick. This is really sick. I am digging Ryu, how he looks. I'm digging Ryu, and I love it. I'm really into this. This is great. I hope he gets his costume back, his proper karate outfit. But this is still very cool as a default. I'm really into that. Beautiful looking scene. Who's this lady? Is this the little kid that Chun-Li adopts? It probably is. Yeah, it probably is. And then this guy seems to be some sort of a capoeira drinking guy. Yeah, he drinks and capoeira. I like this dude's style. I want to figure out a little bit more about him. I hope there's some info. There's a whole website we're gonna go over. This has me. You guys see how they're introducing these dudes like this? I love, by the way, the graffiti art, the style of Street Fighter, it looks really good. I'm really digging that look. The way they're introducing these guys like this, like a tag team. It looks like a wrestling tag team match. And then these two. I get the feeling they might be doing a 2 versus 2 mode for this. They might be taking a little multiverses. Man, that is so... That is, oh my god, oh my god! I can't tell you how much I love this standoff. I can't tell you. This is just the coolest standoff in a martial arts flick where they line up their stuff like that. They put that wrist on wrist action like they're about to fucking go at. It's like they're about to feel each other's next move that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? You ever put your wrist up against another man's wrist and you feel them? You know what I'm saying? I think you know what I'm saying when I say that. If you've ever done it, like, it's an incredible feeling. It's quite a rush. You know, Jamie's going to leave a lot more jizz on the floor. That's all I'm saying. But this is so... I am really excited about how this looks. I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased. I'm not finding a whole lot here that I'm displeased over. Admittedly... maybe some characters don't look at... I look at Luke, and he seems a lot more defined than this Jamie dude over here. I don't know. His skin is, like, just not nearly as detailed or something. His clothes, maybe... maybe there's some refinement that isn't quite in place yet. It is still pretty early. Man, that super there. This Ryu fist. I wonder what he's going to do. It looks like he's about to fucking rip his throat out. This is crazy. Battle Hub, Battleground? I wonder if it's like referencing things. And then the logo. Hey, you know, a lot of people were giving a lot of flack about that logo, and now, like, it's normal now. Like, it actually looks normal to me. That doesn't look like a fucked up icon to me anymore. I didn't really have that big of a beef with the original. I mean, it looked pretty stupid, but... This one at least looks like something. I don't quite understand what's going on the left side of this icon, but I guess this is a 6. I guess it's a 6, right? I guess this is a 6. I don't know. Yeah, it's a 6. The whole thing's a 6. It's just, like, weird. All right, so this is the trailer that they showed at the State of Play. My overall thoughts, really happy with how the game visually looks. I think it looks really good. I gotta say, maybe there are some parts that I kind of feel like maybe there's not a lot of polish on some things. Maybe they need to do a round of that. Chun-Li, I think there's something going on with her model. It definitely seems like she's like really stretched or something. I don't know. It's like they're trying to do something with her. Ryu looks fantastic. I have no qualms. But there's something about her that doesn't quite look right. You know what I'm saying? Is it a level of polish? Is it her model? I'm not quite sure. It's a little off-putting. She looks good when she's standing around, but when she's in... Man, you see this ass on this chick? Look at that booty. That is a skin-tight outfit. Yeah, I'm liking this dude's style too. Now, I don't really like this guy's dance moves. I don't like the capoeira, but the drunken arts guarantee 100% best kind of character martial art. It's a little disappointing that he mixes the two, the dancing and drunken master, but you know, whatever. Like, I will consider playing this guy because I like the drunken art stuff. It looks really good. I'm gonna need to see him in action more. Yeah, visually speaking, like not just the arts, the way things are in motion and stuff like that. It's not just that. The art style going for the street. You know, going for the graffiti, going for this hip-hop look, you know, you're down on the street in American streets or whatever. Like, they're very clearly trying to grasp the 1990s, right? They're trying to grab, like, the 90s ghetto. They're trying to really, like, paint this description of just, like, dudes are out here fighting their gangs everywhere, there's fucking whips and chains, you know. It's the Warriors, right? It's the Warriors movie. That's the setting of this Metro City, you know. A Final Fight. Final Fight was basically, you know, that kind of an environment, and they are painting it not just for like a single player story mode or anything. They actually are painting the whole thing. There's all this wild color and graphics going on everywhere. There's tons of graffiti. The guy comes all over the floor. I mean, look at this shit. Look at how much cum is on that floor. Look at that. That is a lot of jizz. That's very fucking of the time period. You know, people just jizz all over the floor left and right in the 90s. I'm just trying to say the aesthetics are really, really top notch. I'm really enjoying that. I think it's very cool. It's very cool. And it's totally different from other Street Fighters. Other Street Fighters, they don't look like this. They look like cartoons. They look like I don't even know what they look like. They look like clay. They look like Play-Doh. Like, I never liked Street Fighter 4 or 5 or Cross Tekken or MVCI. They all looked goofy ass to me. Didn't look good. Ever since we left the sprite world, I never really enjoyed how things looked. Even in 4, which was, you know, the resurgence of Street Fighter, it just never looked that good. This, maybe it's because I'm more of a Tekken fan at heart, but if I really wanted to be critical here, this is more like Mortal Kombat. This is more like Mortal Kombat. It looks much more Mortal Kombat to me than it does. Look at this fucking booty. How can this ass get big and then small again? I'm not sure what's going on with Chun-Li. I kind of feel like her model's a little off. They're going to need to tweak her a bit. Drive gauge, here we go. Engine that powers drive systems, available as soon as the round begins. If you spend it, you enter burnout state with big disadvantages, but it also replenishes automatically. Okay, better meter management, a key to the fight, understanding the system in depth, including when to conserve, to be conservative, and when to gamble. Allows for deep, high-level battles. I'm a little worried that might be V-Trigger from Street Fighter V. But V-Trigger and V-Skill, no, it wouldn't be the same thing, because these pips, let's go take a look at what you can do. So basically this stuff, these things down here, drive impact, drive parry, what the fuck, overdrive, drive run, this is a lot of driving, drive reversal, you got 5 different drives. Alright, that's why they call it the drive gauge. You're going to be driving all over the place. Yeah, I'm not sure the rest of these are pretty straightforward. This is your armored move. If you want to armor through something and hit them, the damage is low but can help you out in tight situations. So this is if you're being attacked and you want them to stop. If you're being like overwhelmed with a bunch of buttons and you just need this guy to get off you, you can do this move and he has to respect that. That's what this is. So that's a very straightforward use of it. The others are very straightforward with the parry. What was the first one? Impact. This one kind of shares a little bit with the other one. Yeah, I don't know. You know, some people who are better at this can definitely explain it better. But I like that that's there. I like that overdrive. I like that the overdrive is here with these pips rather than on the super bar. That's pretty good. They're probably trying to add, that's the fun sound, don't worry. They're probably trying to add different mechanics to promote a new type of playstyle. I think what the goal is here, I think what the goal is with a drive gauge is they want to give you options, but they don't want you to freely use those options without consideration. So you guys, I think, Olabaf, random dude, I think you guys probably know a bit about fighting games here. But for anybody who's not really, like, very familiar with how Street Fighter tends to work, right? Street Fighter is really good at doing a kind of a footsie-based game, which means that you're sort of sitting at a certain distance and you're trying to hit each other with your buttons. You're trying to, like, jump in on a guy, but also anti-air them. You know what I mean? You're trying to set up, like, a distance. They call this the neutral. And you're trying to hit the other guy in this neutral where you both are able to act at the same time. You both can do whatever you want at any time, and you're trying to hit each other in this way. It's very tough. It's actually very tough because you both have complete control of your characters. Nothing is happening. You both are at a certain distance where certain buttons will hit, but other buttons will whiff. They could dash in on you out of nowhere. You know, there's a lot of things that can happen. They could jump in on you. The neutral is something that Street Fighter has always built itself upon. However, most Street Fighter games have some kind of mechanic that allows you to manipulate this neutral in a more favorable and usually strong way. And a good example here would probably be this parry or this impact. This ability to kind of skip the neutral a little bit by just like, okay, I'm going to do an attack that has armor on it. And so if the other guy tries to hit me out of this attack, it won't work because I got armor. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to smash him. Now that I have smashed him, I am now able to act before he can act because I hit him. So I'm going to use that momentum, that advantage in frames, my frame advantage, to put pressure onto him and attack him in a more aggressive manner. Now the neutral isn't so shared evenly. I guess that's a good way to say it, right? The neutral is now no longer an even playing field. You are recovering before your opponent, and so you can pressure him. This is like a way of getting to that pressuring point without having to like win the neutral in a normal way, without having to land a button or a jump in or something like that. You could just expend some meter, some of this drive, and get in there. But that's the thing, right? You can't do this all the time. You can't just skip the neutral over and over and over. You are limited by how many times you're allowed to fuck around with the neutral using this meter resource and using these 5 different things that you can do with this resource. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it so that you have different ways of messing with each other, of engaging in one another, so that the neutral isn't just how do I put the right button in the right spot. The neutral is now like, I could reversal this guy if he hits me, or if his pressure game is too strong, I can get him off me, or I could parry at this distance, and maybe that will set me up for a better step on the next after the parry. Because I'm not quite sure what you get after a parry in this one. It's just giving you more tools in which to engage the neutral in without flat out ignoring the neutral and without letting you do it over and over and over. You can only do it sometimes. That seems like a really good system. Dear God. Single button specials. This is very powerful. You could do a Hadouken with triangle. You could do a Senpu Kyaku with back triangle, high blade. So this is his donkey kick. This is like a wall bounce. Crouching triangle. Shoryuken with a forward... Okay. Oh, man. As you guys in chat probably already know, but for anybody else who isn't aware, Shoryuken is the Dragon Punch, and a Shoryuken has invulnerability frames on startup and, like, for the early chunk of it. Basically what that means is if somebody ever DPs, you can't really hurt them. They just DP... And if you attack them in the early part of their Dragon Punch, it just goes through them. You can't hurt them. It's an invincible move. It's very common to wake up after being knocked down and doing a Dragon Punch because the other guy generally wants to put his attack on top of you when you get up off the floor, and you just go right through it. You're invincible. You're invincible, basically. That's really powerful to have in a fighting game. And one of the ways that you curve the power of that Dragon Punch is by having a motion input. So you have to forward, down, and down forward, then press your punch button, and you will get your Dragon Punch. It requires some execution because the move is really strong. It's invincible. Essentially, it's invincible. And even if the guy, like, jumps in on you and you do that DP, like... It's going to take time for you to do that DP on a jump in. You got to recognize it. You got to react, right? It takes effort to do it. You now don't need as much effort to do it. You can press forward and triangle and immediately get your Dragon Punch. You don't need to do an input for it anymore. There's no motion input for it. You just pow. So the moment you see a guy jump, pow, Dragon Punch. The moment you think a guy is going to attack you, pow, Dragon Punch. That is very powerful. That's very, very powerful. There's really no way around it. That's really powerful. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. The only thing is that is having essentially a one-button Dragon Punch. Is having a one-button Dragon Punch better, or is it worse than losing your 3 buttons that you don't have access to while you are in simple mode? We don't know that. I don't think we can answer that question right now because we don't know how the game plays. I don't think we can answer that. I think the simple control scheme is good for teaching fundamentals, but I think it may be a big step to go to normal controls if you want to do more damaging. Yeah, so that before we even get to that question, right? Like, I'm not really a fan of this modern versus classic. My issue here is that having these shortcuts doesn't teach you how to play the game like normally, right? So if you want to graduate from the simple stuff and then you want to actually learn how to play the game like, you know, how the game is built to be played, you're going to be at it. You have to learn two entirely different systems to do it. I agree with you in that the simple control scheme doesn't teach the necessary skills to then adopt the classic scheme. But we also have to consider maybe the classic scheme isn't what they want with Street Fighter 6. Maybe they don't want new players to have to learn this stuff. Maybe they want new players to play with instant special moves. You know? Maybe they want that. In any case, yeah, I mean, this is wild. I don't really know. Fighting games have done simplified controls in the past, so I'm not necessarily like, oh god, it's over. You know, I don't think it's like that, but potentially it could be like that. But I'm not too worried. A lot of time, I mean, you're losing 3 buttons. That's probably important. Maybe. I guess we'll find out. What would happen to flash kick in simple control mode? They would probably tie it to a 1-button flash kick, is what I would imagine. I mean, they could still require charging. They could still require it, but historically, the only example we have is the Nintendo DS, and that literally was a 1-button flash kick. You didn't have to charge it. So, yeah, I mean, that's a very good question. What does happen to flash kick in simple control mode? Oh, no! Oh, I feel so awful. Okay, listen. Commentator being in a game, that's totally fine. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm a fan of Sajam. I'm sure some of you guys know who I'm talking about. I'm a fan of Sajam. Poor old Sajam was shadow banned from Street Fighter V long ago. Some higher up didn't like that I was talking shit about the netcode. And so Sajam is like the commentator of fighting games. Or he's a significant commentator. He can do it all. And he used to do Street Fighter. He used to be really, really popular with that shit. But they banned him. That is so sad that they are now putting commentators in the game itself, so they'll commentate your match, assuming that's what this is. But we could never, possibly never get Sajam. Unless he gets unbanned, we'll never get Sajam. Man, we'll never get Eris commentating our match? Eris commentating our match? Oh. What about, like, Yipes or Chris Hugh? Oh my god, I like this. I like this a lot, but no Sajam? Oh no. Ski Sonic? Okay, alright. I want to check out this video. This sounds fucking wild. I bet there's probably some new moves in here too, right? Man, that's cool. That is really cool. I don't know about the commentating. That's like, okay, whatever, commentating. I get you. You know, sick. Real sick. If they get Eris in Sajam, I will buy those. This looks like, since the single player mode is a open world romp kind of thing, I wonder if this is going to be like PlayStation Home. Do you guys remember that? I don't think I was streaming when PlayStation Home happened. It was PlayStation 3, right? Yeah, it was PlayStation 3. So PlayStation Home was really neat, but ultimately it was a big failure, and it probably was destined to be a big failure. But essentially what they did was they wanted to create a virtual world where you can have an avatar and you can run around it, something like The Sims or Second Life, if you guys even remember that shit. You basically got to live a second life, right? You could be a virtual avatar, dress them up as you wanted, create them as you wanted, and there was like a whole world that you can walk around in. It was a giant, like, Sony-inspired complex that had all sorts of cool shit. You can go to a movie theater and watch, like, video game trailers. When Evo had Marvel vs. Capcom 3 once, they threw that up at Evo up on the theater in the PlayStation Home. So you could have your character, move him to the theater, sit down in the seat with your character, and watch Evo on a big theater screen with all these other people sitting around. And you had like a chat room. You could hear people talk if they had their open mic and stuff like that. It was pretty tight. I had always envisioned that I would find the girl of my dreams in PlayStation Home because I was a nerd and I was desperate, lonely, and horny. And I thought, I can find a girl here, right? Girls play video games, right? I found a couple of dudes, but sadly never any girls. So it didn't really work out PlayStation Home. But perhaps this will. Perhaps I will find the love of my life playing Chun-Li in her weird fucking turkey leg, I guess. I don't know. Fucking anything could happen. Street Fighter 6, we're from the streets. He's got some cool moves, very reminiscent. Oh, shit! Where did this guy get that hair? Where did this come from? Where did you get that? Hang on a second. It's just unwrapped? Oh my god. You better be able to have that. That better be a motherfucking costume. Oh my god. And it's the wrist thing. Remember I was talking about that earlier? How this is so fucking cool doing the wrist on wrist action? Oh man. This is so... Okay, I'm liking this guy. This guy is very quickly... I'm taking an affectionate approach to this individual. I hope he pans out because, man, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. I'm surprised.
The top player is here.
Street Fighter 6, man. This is looking great. Like, visually to me, I'm really surprised. I didn't think things were going to look quite normal. I didn't think they were going to look quite normal. I thought they would look a little weird because this is like a brand new direction for Street Fighter. They don't usually do this. They go kind of a cartoon route. This looks nice. The art style is fantastic. I've been saying it a lot. The art style is fantastic. The graphical quality is really there, They've done with Street Fighter that they did with Devil May Cry 5, and I honestly feel there's a lot of parallel there. Devil May Cry 3 and 4 used to look like real video games to me. That's kind of how I've always seen video games. I like how that looks. But then in Devil May Cry 5, they really teleported everybody over into a realistic looking thing. And at first I wasn't really that taken, but watching it in action, playing the games, really won me over. It won me over really, really strongly. And now I love Devil May Cry 5. I think it looks fantastic and it plays fantastic. It feels very much like that's what they're doing with Street Fighter 6. They're just carrying them over to this new engine, this Resident Evil engine or whatever. And they're doing a good job so far. It really strikes me as a good looking game. Like I'm enjoying looking at it. I'm not drinking it in, but I'm really appreciating how it looks. It's not a cartoon. It's complete deviation from all the other Street Fighters. It is its own entity. I am super, super into it. At the same time, I kind of feel like the model work could definitely use some improvement. Like, I feel like some of the models could use improvement. Chun-Li's a real standout character for that, but I'm also just kind of... It does seem a little King of Fighters-y, a little bit. I don't really know if it's fair to say, but it kind of feels like Street Fighter 6 model... The models aren't as defined and detailed as I expected them to be. They still look a little bit muddy, a little claymation a little bit. That's kind of why I'm comparing it more to Mortal Kombat than Tekken. Tekken's got a real clean look to it. Mortal Kombat's got kind of that clunky look to it, a little kludgy, a little pudgy, you know what I'm saying? A little bit like pudding a little bit. Like I see that a little bit here. It's nowhere near the claymation Fighter 5 that we had in the last one, but it is still present. It's still present, and it throws me off a little bit. But honestly, there's so many really... Look at this beautiful shot. Oh, that is so sick. I think just some further refinement is all that's needed. I think they could just further refine it and it wouldn't be a problem. I really do. They have until 2023, and then we don't even know when in that year it's going to release. So they've got a lot of time to really spruce it up. Maybe the lighting could be improved a little bit or something like that. Just get a little bit more work on the models, I think. I think. That's how I feel. Other than that, like, I can't really find anything I'm unhappy about. The controls are a little scary. I'm not sure about the special, simple mode that's going to be going down. I'm a little worried about that. But, like, the overdrive stuff, having a drive meter and then it's separate from your super meter down there. And then maybe in the future, the super meter will be used for even more mechanical things going down the road, you know? Because the drive meter already has 5 different things you can fuck around with. Really interesting stuff. I want to see that. I would love to have a demo. I'd love to have a beta. If they do a beta, that'd be so fantastic. But maybe that's the other thing that we could talk about that isn't so promising right now, is they didn't say anything about the netcode. We don't actually have confirmation if this is going to be crossplay either, do we? We don't actually have that. We don't know if it's crossplay. It's got to be crossplay, though, right? I mean, PC and PS4, PS5 had crossplay. But this one is not funded by Sony exclusively anymore. This is actually Capcom footing the bill on this one. Because they have money now. They did well with Monster Hunter. So we don't even know if it has rollback, in-house or normal rollback. Remember, Street Fighter V suffered from really shitty rollback, like really bad. And they did fix it, though, for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. It actually had some of the best netcode people had played. It just was a shitty game. Well, it visually looked shitty, at least. Yeah, I hope it has crossplay. I would really think it would. I'm surprised that they didn't mention any of that here. But it is so early in the game's. It's weird to say even that, because Street Fighter 6 was delayed like for years. Like this thing was supposed to come out like 2 years ago. Street Fighter 5 got a whole nother season of characters because of this game getting delayed. So you would think a lot of work would be done on it, and clearly a lot of work has been done, but I don't know. It feels like they're still kind of not done. Even though they've had all that time, it still kind of feels like they're not done with it. I feel like there's still some spit and polish that they really need to put into it to really make the characters pop out. I think the particle effects could be better. The Hadouken was looking a little whack, just a little light. It wasn't looking real standoutish, real lightning looking. It just kind of seemed a little dull, a little faded. I felt that way with some of the other particle effects too. But then the graphical parts are crazy with the paint and everything. That looks amazing. I'm wildly excited about this. I really think this is cool. I like everything in the direction that's going. But I have to admit, I felt the same with Street Fighter V before I got into the betas. I got into the betas, and literally everything I loved about what I was seeing with Street Fighter V was progressively walked further and further back until the game released with nothing fun. So that could happen here again. But I'm really hopeful it doesn't, because, man, there's so much different. There's so much different with this game compared to that game that I'm really, really hopeful that we will have a fun and engaging game. I just am. And it looks so much better. It just really does.